What's your problem, kid? You think that's funny?
Welcome to No Enemies Here, the show where you get your news that you want. Everybody's happy here. Nobody dies in No Enemies Here. So I've got two good pieces of news. The first one is concerning Noble Knight Games, or Noble Knight. It seems that they are now unionized, that the management has recognized the union, and good for them. Good for them. That's great news. I know everything you wanted to know about war games, but we're afraid to ask. We had a show about that, and we were just listening to people's concerns and this and this and that, and it was pretty cool. It's always iffy, you know. But nevertheless, it seems everything turned out fantastic on both ends, which is great. And I'm happy to, well, I'm personally happy for management to have recognized the union. I mean, it shows their progressive nature. And you know what? Noble Knight is a great place to shop. I shop there when I can. And I remember, because I haven't shopped in a while, I remember when I did shop, I called up customer service. Super great. Super great. The guy, I mean, don't say this, but the guy gave me an extra 10%. You know what I'm saying? So that helped me in my shipping. Excuse me. Plus, they have cheap shipping. So, yeah. And the other news is Jay Hinton, Poindexter Games. I forget. But it's Jay Hinton's channel, it's Poindexter. He's starting up Skies Above Britain, and I've been chosen, I think, as the pilot in the Royal Air Force, in one of the, I don't know, one of the squadrons. I guess I'm flying a Spitfire, Submariner, whatever they called it, Submariner, Spitfire. Why Submariner? I don't know. Please, someone tell me in the comments below. Submariner, Spitfire, boo. But anyways, so that's the good news. Another thing, I was in touch with Matt Calkins, the designer of Sekigahara and the new game Charioteer. So I'll be interviewing Matt Calkins, and it's funny, he makes interesting mechanics. He thinks about simplicity, and I guess in an abstract way, he kind of removes chrome without removing too much chrome, or without removing the chrome. I don't know. I'm going to be speaking to Matt, and that's going to be a great interview. I mean, I've got poop load of questions, plus I'm sure I'm going to ask him a question like, what's your favorite color? And also, I'm going to be interviewing STUKAJOE on his CDG solo system. I'm going to ask him why did he create that? Like, what's going on? Usually people who don't have any playing partners would think up of something like that, because necessity is the mother of invention, right? And Joe has people to play with, as far as I'm concerned. And anyways, that's going to be interesting too. So, depending on whose schedule is up for grabs first, I'll be interviewing that. It's not going to be live. And maybe the STUKAJOE one, but maybe not. I just find that there's a... Not that there's a cleaner flow, because the commentaries are very important. People have questions I don't even think of, and it helps out the show. But I'll see. Let me know if you want STUKAJOE live or just pre-recorded, which is fine too. But let me know in the comments below. And obviously, I'm gonna start with the Grognard of the year. Next week, I'm gonna put up the official Let's Go. And you vote for your favorite Grognard. And I'll see if I can have my brother-in-law, who's a web designer, do something. But I mean, how can I have all those names? We'll do it the old way. It's fine. Anyways, Ricardo's in the house. Wojennik's in the house. Seek Out and Plays in the house. And Meandering Mike is in the house. So, this is great. This is becoming a show where I have a lot of participation, and that's what I wanted. Sure, I'll be the anchor man and do the news like that, but I want subscriber participation. Meaning, I want it to become your show too, you know? Imagine if this show becomes like the Dice Tower and, you know, whatever. Okay, and you know what we could call it? The Flak Tower. Anyways, I just got back from work. I'm working on this show. Gonna be up all night doing it. And life is beautiful. I got a harp that's gonna keep me company. And have a great show. Ciao.
Black J.
Hello, this is Riccardo Mancini, and this time the greatest day in history and games is December 20th, 1522. The day in which the fall of one of the last Christian strongholds in the Eastern Mediterranean led to one of the greatest crises in the struggle between the West and the Ottoman Empire. The day of the fall of the island of Rhodes. One of the last vestiges of the Crusades, in the early 16th century, the island of Rhodes was still the headquarters locations of the Knights Hospitalier. Regretfully, though, the small island lying just in front of the coast of Anatolia represented a major obstacle to the expansion of the Ottoman Empire, and so became a primary target for the powerful fleet of the Sultan. The knights were well aware of that and proceeded to modernize and strengthen the ancient fortifications, updating them to the new Truss Italian standards, just in time before the arrival of a great Ottoman fleet. The siege was long, violent, and surprisingly costly for the Muslim forces, though. So costly that in the end a very lenient agreement between the invaders and the defenders was reached, allowing a complete and peaceful evacuation of the knights and whoever wanted to leave the city. The remnants of the order first found refuge in Crete, then in Sicily, then to a small island just off the southern tip of Italy, an island that will give them the final and more famous name, Malta. But even so, they were not safe. More than 40 years later, in fact, a new Ottoman fleet appeared to lay siege even to this western island, utterly determined to destroy the hospitallary order and gain a powerful foothold for further naval raids and even permanent territorial expansions in the heart of the Christian kingdoms. Over the years after Rhodes, in fact, the seafaring Knights of Malta had become the bane of the Ottoman corsairs that plagued the Mediterranean, and the greatest of these corsairs, the legendary Dragut, had decided to remove this threat once and for all, presenting himself on May 18th at the head of almost 200 ships with tens of thousands of sailors and soldiers. Against him, the knights could field only 2,500 men, supported by Maltese inhabitants, serfs, prisoners of various kinds, all fearful of the Ottoman wrath. The first to be assaulted was the exposed Fort Sant'Elmo. There the defenders fought bravely and inflicted heavy losses to the Janissaries before becoming subject to a terrible slaughter. The decapitated bodies were tied to mock crucifixes and launched on the waters towards the other forts of the island. The Grand Master of the Hospitaliers, Jean de Valette, responded by having all the Turkish prisoners beheaded and the heads fired from the Christian cannons. That was Sant'Elmo's pay, and made one thing perfectly clear: this time no quarters would be given nor asked. In the following months, various assaults were made against the other defensive locations on the island, such as Sengleia and Birgu. All Europe went into sort of panic, and many attempts to relieve the beleaguered knights began to be organized. The first of those attempts, the so-called Piccolo Soccorso, or Small Relief, brought 600 reinforcements and gave a tremendous boost to the Christian morale. But the battle raged on and on, with the Ottomans undeterred even by the accidental death of Dragut himself, and the Christians, inspired by the example of the Grand Master de Valette, exposing himself to great dangers. In the end, after a final assault and the total loss of 1/3 of their men, the Ottomans began re-embarking troops and artillery on September 8th, also because on the day before they had seen the arrival of the Gran Soccorso, or Great Relief, 8,000 men, fully armed and trained, finally joining the knights. On September 13th, this new force charged the Ottoman moorings, inflicting further casualties and forcing the general retreat of the fleet. For the first time, an Ottoman force was driven back, and a new ring was forged in the great chain of sieges and naval battles between East and West in the Mediterranean that began in Rhodes, continued in Malta, and would finally end at Lepanto. For this episode, I know I had to condensate much of the incredible story of the Great Siege of Malta. I did not tell you about the Ottoman frogmen, the devastating artillery bombardments, the daring Christian sorties, of course because of the time needed for that, but also because all these facts would seem utterly unbelievable for an historic siege. being apparently taken out of a fantasy novel. But they are all true, and they're all beautifully depicted in the cards of Tristan Wolf's 1565 St. Elmo's Bay. In this amazing game, you will see all the facts leading up to this siege and all its more thrilling moments form up before your eyes. As the brave leader of the Christian defenders or the clever commander of the Ottoman fleet, you will battle for all the strategic locations of the island, trying to survive or gain final victory before the arrival of the Gran Soccorso. You will coordinate masterful military maneuvers, plan murderous artillery operations, and even use the most diverse assets such as elite troops, spies, and traitors in a game for 2 players, but also having an effective solo system. The series of games to which this title belongs constitute a very peculiar form of wargame, which is, of course, perfectly suited to represent such a peculiar and crucial siege in the middle of the Mediterranean. So, that's it for this time. See you on the next battlefield. Ciao!
Timmy of Harebrained Games is taking a look and revisiting Hitler's Reich. He's got some opinions I think that he didn't have before on Harebrained Games this week. On Simple History, Learn History in No Time, there are 4 videos. Ridiculously overpowered weapons in history, mouse, also the most terrifying sounds in war, and Allied soldiers crucified by Germans in World War I. I watched that one. Yeesh. And most evil dictators in history and what they did on Simple History. World War II, Indy Nidell's channel, there are 4 videos this week. The costliest day in U.S. Marine history, November 26, 1943, Tarawa. And Victorious Italians, Swedish turnips, and battlefield songs. Check out that Bersaglieri and that kraut next to him. World War II lingo, you know what I'm saying? Also, the NKVD making fools of German intelligence, Spies and Ties, number 25, and bombing Berlin with Ed Murrow of CBS, War Against Humanity, Orchestrated Hell, the 1st of December, 1943. On Legendary Tactics, 4 videos, Flashpoint South China Seas, board game solo playthrough as the Unit. Check it out. Flight to Mars board game, hypothetical featuring Quackalope. Okay. And Flashpoint South China Seas board game review. Should you buy this game? And what's the best edition of the Diplomacy board game on Legendary Tactics this week? Fine channel. On STUKAJOE's channel, of which I will be interviewing soon, Tank Clash, a preview. You know what? It reminds me a little bit of David Thompson's Undaunted series. I'm gonna get my hands on that one. Because I got my son-in-law into it. But we haven't played now because he's back in school and he works full-time. Nice guy. Eh? So, Tank Clash on STUKAJOE's channel. And the man who looks like a vampire, Mark Felton of Mark Felton Production, has 2 videos out. And one looks like a really cool jet. North Korea's 1940 bomber still serving 2022. It just looks cool. 1950s jets. I used to like them. What was that jet there? The Starfighter? You know what I'm saying? Those jets I like. Just right after World War II. And the Brandenburg Gates ballerina, the Ukrainian Soviet soldier who became a... ... Check out Mark Felton. Cataclysm now has 3 videos out. Dogfight Cycle, Skies Above Britain, which I just got. GMT Games, this is a Gina Willis and a Jerry White game. Also, another video called Upcoming Q&A Livestream, 1,000 subs, congratulations, Cataclysm. And Bomber Cycle, Skies Above Britain, again. So he does the bombers and the dogfight cycles. Cataclysm now. Mo of Mo's Game Table has 2 videos out. Men of War, Rhodesian Bush War playthrough and first impression. Also, Brothers at War, 1862 from Compass Games. This is a preview on Mo's channel. World War II Solitaire board game channel. I mean, this guy gives you his money's worth, man. You know what I'm saying? He's got 1, 2, 2.5 videos, if you know what I mean, concerning American Tank Ace. This is a Gregory M. Smith game published by Compass Games. That is 2.5 videos, and these are playthroughs, and 1.5 videos is, here I go, 1, 2, 3.5 videos on Patton's Best. These are playthroughs, and he does the half video is an in-depth analysis, Patton's Best versus American Tank Ace. That should be very interesting. I'm gonna be watching it. Also, 1, 2, 3 videos on B-17 Queen of the Skies, the playthrough. He also does a playthrough of SAS Rogue Regiment. This is a prototype playthrough, hit and run. And he does a playthrough of Mike Lambo's Lone Sherman, which I have here somewhere. I love life. And it's that easy. It's the little things. Once Upon a Game, Kevin Kitchen's channel. He has 2 videos, Dawn of Battle, an unboxing, and Core Space Firstborn, an unboxing. On the Blue Tweezers, DVG Spruance Leader mid-campaign mission engagement live. Great overhead shot. Love it. Love it. Check it out. Blue Tweezers. Artie of ARDWULF'S Lair has 4 videos this week in conversation. La Bataille with Eric Holmgren. Also, counterclipping the best of the gamers. And counterclipping episode 100, multi-man publishing pre-order rundown, plus everything you wanted to know about war games but were afraid to ask. And this time we tackled a new topic called what is and what isn't a war game. Again, but you know what? We had Brant, my God, I forget his name, and his last name. He's from the Dragoons, the Armchair Dragoons. And I mean, this guy knows his stuff, and he knows people that know their stuff. He was talking about people at Rand, And to pinpoint again what is a war game is just a difficult thing. It's maybe we should just not ask that question again. But when someone asks you, well, what kind of games do you like? I like war games. What's a war game? There you go. There you go. What can I say? On everything you wanted to know about war games and were afraid to ask. Very interesting conversation we had there. War Games y Estrategia for our Spanish listeners. 4 videos. A replay of Las Navas de Tolosa by Draco Ideas. Also, Stratagematta American Civil War. The first event and decisions. I'm paraphrasing the Spanish one. Also, he's unboxing ASL Pocket Charts. And unboxing on another video, B-17 Flying Fortress Leader by Draco Ideas. Okay, I see. This is the DVG printed one, licensed to Draco Ideas. Very good, very good. For our Spanish listeners on War Games y Estrategia. War Games and Strategy. On Lock and Load Publishing, Sean Drulinger and Devin Heinel. Devin Heinel play Point Blank. I got that game. Haven't gotten it to the table yet. I really want to. They're playing a tabletop simulation version of that game, which should be incredibly interesting. I love Sean Drulinger, and I think this game is kudos to him. I think it's a not masterpiece, Grand Cru, as we say in the wine world. On My Own Worst Enemy, CSA, America's Civil War, Turn 3, Part 1. And he does this with an overhead shot. I thought this was Vassal. It's not. Check it out. My Own Worst Enemy. Remember World War II with Rishi Sharma. This is the channel I like to watch because it's all these old veterans, World War II veterans, talking about stuff like the Germans shot him right in the head. So this is Purple Heart, World War II vet tells him about intense street fighting against fanatical Germans. Also another one, I can still see those 40-acre covered with bodies. This is a World War II veteran talks about his scariest experience on the front line. Plus, a World War II amputee shares in detail what happened to his leg while in combat. I mean, these guys are still around to tell the stories, and I'm happy about that. And this channel, Remember World War II, is fantastic. And there's 111,000 subscribers. Why don't you be one?
This week on Seek Out and Play, we discuss how to create a samurai using the melee system from The Fantasy Trip, an RPG from Steve Jackson Games. The video covers the different weapons used by the samurai, including the swords, spears, and longbow, plus the type of armor so you can recreate it using the melee rules. In addition, tactics are discussed for battling the enemy, and you can create a team of samurai to face fellow samurai or take on the various animals and monsters found within the system. You can also check out other videos on Melee and the Fantasy Trip at the Seek Out and Play YouTube page. And I'll see you next Wednesday.
my favorite Frenchie, Fred Serval, try to say that a few times, has 2 videos out on Homoludens. It's Obsession, a very Victorian teach and play, plus The British Way, Malaya, End of an Empire campaign, episode number 2. It's a coin game. Because I see the coin thing happening there, but I've never seen it. I should watch Freddy's channel once in a while. You know what I mean? Life sometimes is different, but I do watch it sometimes. Epic Lao 1807 on Hexes and Soldiers. This, I don't know what's going on, but he's really going miniature, something fierce. And he's got 2 camera angles, which is pretty cool. On ASL Scenario Archives, TTT7 going to a tournament, and also Desert Island Scenarios. Gerard Burton on ASL Scenario Archives for all you ASL people. On the Nerd Workshop, 3 videos. San Diego Historical Games Convention. Why is it a great thing to do? Also, Victory in the Pacific, Avalon Hill playthrough turn number 7, and a GMT Games Nevsky, Teutons, and Russ first look. Volkorunke game, obviously. On Combat Board Games, 2 videos. 1 reviewing Vox Blaster sci-fi game book by Adam C. Mitchell, and unbagging a fistful of turkeys produced by Metagaming Concepts on Combat Board Games. Fenny Rob has 4 videos. It's my top 10, 12 actually, board games from Eagle Griffin Games, plus Star Wars, the Clone Wars board game playthrough, and Black Friday board game haul arrives, an unboxing, plus Santa's Workshop board games, a playthrough 2022 on Fenny Rob. My paisan from down south over there on Ontario, about 20 minutes away, Christopher Prest, has 12 videos out, and he's doing the Weltkrieg, a Caporetto update, trying out the 1080p webcam, camcorder over Caporetto. The board game Fairy visited me again, or Fairy, the board game Fairy visited him again. Plus a quick peek at the Latora light system. This guy's going all over the place. So he's testing out the Latora light system over Caporetto, and basically he's doing a lot of video testing, and the videos last about, some are as short as 35 seconds, and the longest one is about 7 minutes. Interesting if you want to learn how to video the Christopher Prest way. And here's this guy, Tom and Jerry Games review on and how to play from Gamer's Closet. Look, fun, stupid fun. Okay, who doesn't want to have stupid fun? On the Gamer's Closet, Tom and Jerry game. Ridiculous. Tank Zone has 2 videos this week. Armored Warfare tank review and setup guide, plus best gift ideas for gamers 2022-2023, Christmas and New Year. It's that time of year, peeps. On Hexed Encounters, we have 2 videos out. Sprue and Sleater, All Hands on Deck playthrough. This is an expansion, plus Stone Cold Hockey first look part 2. I used to watch hockey when Chelios used to play. You know what I'm saying? Then they traded him. Sure, trade your spine. Smart War Games has 8 videos out. These are video games. The guy said video, so I blocked there for a second. Ukraine War mod plus Command, Modern Operation to Falklands. This is released on Steam. Plus he looks at Fields of Fire. a Bulge campaign in Vassal. Content showcase and setup. That's very interesting. He does Hunter Killer Command, Modern Operation to Falklands, WDS Civil War Battle Campaign, Antietam. This is content and gameplay. I'm switching around here. Tigers at Ogledau, campaign number 1. This is Combat Mission Red Thunder, and Battle of Britain, Norway, and Atlantic, released on Steam. Look at all this stuff, man. You know? But I got a Mac, so you don't get all this on Mac. What can I tell you? I wouldn't trade it for anything. Storm of Steel, Wargaming, 3 videos out. Making more game videos for YouTube. We went through that, I think. And Bench Report Hobby Update and Competition winner on Storm of Steel. And he's giving away Undaunted Stalingrad, I think. David Thompson game, published by Osprey Games. Plus, play the game World War I Wargaming Compendium Review on Storm of Steel. It's funny, Lock and Load has a lot of compendium stuff, and it's really cool. I like Lock and Load products. Hey, watch Pasta Grannies party with Rita and friends as they make rice polenta called frascarelli. Huh? I'm gonna watch it because I want to make frascarellis. And like I ain't fat enough. Sabaton. This is a heavy metal band that sings about history. When I say sings, they create pieces of music which has singing in it. Because, you know, look, music, it's not just a song, it's not just whatever. I'm not gonna get into it. So Sabaton, the Corellian's Prayer, also GOGNARD, and Long Live the King, and Poltava, and Killing Grounds, and 1648. Man, check it out. It's fun. Relax. For God's sakes, relax. War Stories, 2 videos out. Was Joseph Stalin the hero of World War II? Okay, and the Rommel Enigma, how the Allies beat back the Desert Fox. I'll tell you how they beat him back. He had no supplies. George Chiotis. 1 video this week, Advanced Squad Leader. This is George Chiotis is into Advanced Squad Leader. Scenario S4. Welcome back on Analysis. Look, man, if you're into ASL in depth, I'm sure you watch a lot of these ASL stuff. If you want to relax and get freaked out, watch Horror Central. You can watch stuff like Director's Cut, full monster horror movie, you know what I'm saying? Or Killer Rack. Okay, and Morning Ritual Remote. Plus Moonstalker. I think I'm gonna watch Moonstalker. You know why? Because it's the 1970s. I see that car and that old camper. Gonna watch it. Mike Lambo. Who knew? He's got a new game out. A solitaire fantasy game. Quest for the Brave and Beaches for the Brave. He does a quick look. What's going on, Mike Lambo? Lots of questions on Mike Lambo's channel, which is a lot of fun, and I'm losing my voice as things go on. But anyways, U-Boater 6584 videos out. Sea Power and the State, Pacific Soviet pre-war turn, and Traveler Companion episode 15, The Surin Empire part 1. I know Artie's into that too. Sea Power and the State, Pacific US pre-war turn. I thought he was doing that before. And Traveler, Starship Operations Manual review. U-Boater's into that. He's into Traveler. A lot of people are into Traveler. Zilla Blitz, 4 videos out. Marines Ashore, SGS Pacific D-Day, the Tinian Island, World War II US Japan. This is a PC war game. He's doing episode 1. Plus now he's into car racing. Pole position F1 racing game. Designer interview. Ah, okay. It's a board game, it says here. Yeah, I gotta watch it. Also, Heavy Cargo Texas Style is back into trucks. And SGS Pacific Day, episode number 2, a PC war game. The Pacific War just freaks me out. It's like Vietnam. Just, I don't want to be there. On the tabletop's edge, this is an old guy, came back, it's been a while. And combined World in Flames CE. CE stands for, I don't know. And also DOD 3, DOD Days of Decision 3 campaign playthrough, number 6, July to August, November to December 1936. This is huge. This is a monster game. And these guys are Australian who designed it. And it's called the Australian Design Group. And let me tell you something. I was sent a game by the designers. And it's just humongous. Humongous. I hear it's really good also. That's what Artie tells me. I get my stuff from Artie. Dave's Gaming Cave, 4 videos out. Spruance Leader opened the box, an unboxing, plus 3 videos of Skies Above Britain, which I have. Chapters 1 Patrol, 1, 2, and 3 on Dave's Gaming Cave. 6 Actual has 2 videos. Fur Fray. This is Tiger Leader, an unboxing. Plus another video called Air Combat 101. I think this is his game. Cactus Air Force. Create a pilot in the air combat. Cactus Air Force. I will be interviewing 6 Actual concerning that game. And actually, this is a Compass Games game. I wonder if it's his game. We're gonna find out soon. On Diagonal Moves, 1 video, Night of Man, a print and play component overview from Diagonal Moves. I have Night of Man right here, and it's not the print and play one, it's the Flying Pigs game production one. And STUKAJOE and I did a video on it. I did the music, STUKAJOE did everything else. And it's a Mark Walker game, and Mark Walker's a lot of fun. Great fun. The Board Game Chronicles, 2 videos. Fire in the Lake tri-pack unboxing. So he takes a look at Fire in the Lake, the Truong, and something else. Review of Cascadia, a great family game. Hey, sometimes you want to play games. You ain't gonna play war games with little Joey. You know what I'm saying? Joey's like 5. So, you gotta play something else. And that great channel that is Kings and Generals, 4 videos. Mamluks versus the Mongols is 1 video. Also Greek War of Independence. And Battle of Tassafaronga. Holy cow. I said that right. Pacific War number 54, a documentary. And the last one is Wales during the Viking era. Medieval Celts, a documentary. My brother-in-law is Welsh from Cardiff, and he's a big guy. On Patrick's Tactics and Tutorials, 2 videos. The first one, Command and Colors Ancients 612 Amphipolis, or Amphipolis. Depends where you put the accent on, which syllable. And Grant takes Command 2, scenario number 2. Grant crosses the Ripadan, session number 2 on Patrick's Tactics and Tutorials. Hex to Hex has 4 videos out. The first one, Torgau, Prussia's Glory, Part 1, an unboxing of Coruscant 44. This, I know that artwork, and I forget the guy's name, Zelensky. No, that's the Ukraine Prime Minister. I forget his name. And Great Battles of the American Civil War, another video. The Wilderness, the 5th of May, 1864, Part 3. He goes back to Torgau, Prussia's War, or Prussia's Glory, the finale, on Hex to Hex.
Hello everyone, this is Michel Leviathan Sorbet from the Polish YouTube channel Wojennik TV. As always, here is a very quick roundup of the content published on my channel during the last 7 days. During the last 7 days, I released only one wargaming related video, and this was the Tuesday's unboxing, a video in English in which I presented you a game called In Force to Heaven. In Force to Heaven is still a prototype game which was conceived by a Polish designer Grzegorz Kuryłowicz. This is a game about the Polish campaign 1939, which enables us to recreate almost the whole campaign fought during the early stages of World War II. Grzegorz is a passionate of this period, is someone who is really interested, who is really keen on the Polish campaign, who knows a lot of interesting things, and he decided to devote his time to share his passion with other players, designing such a game which will be focused on those events. Up until now, we had some games covering the Polish campaign, but the Polish ones released in Poland were really scarce, whereas the Western ones about the Polish campaign were somewhat non-interesting. This is something different. This is a very ambitious project which is focused on the whole Polish campaign, although the first volume, which is supposed to be released, will be covering primarily the northern and the central part of the fighting. So it will be focused on the Polish corridor and also on the fighting around Warsaw, to the north of Warsaw, and to the western part of Poland. It is maybe possible to release also other parts of this series, for instance covering what happened on the eastern edges of Poland when Poland was invaded also by the Soviet Union. Time will show. Up until now, the design evolved really a lot. The initial project was different, now it is different, but it is a very ambitious, a very interesting project in which we have tons of interesting mechanisms. During the video, I presented you the content of the prototype version. As far as I know, Grzegorz already managed to secure the publishing of this game, so there will be a publisher who will release this game in some time. Of course, it will change, it will be developed, but I still believe that this is an extremely interesting project, an ambitious one and also a very detailed one. And Grzegorz, with his love to this topic, tried to do his best in order to include in it all the interesting aspects of this campaign. It will not be a game in which the German player will just behave as a blitzkrieg commander who will be destroying absolutely everything on his path, because the September campaign wasn't such. We may think that the Polish army was initially crushed and destroyed in a very quick way, but in reality the fact that the Poles managed to resist for more than a month was still a small miracle. This was also due to the Polish defensive plan, which relied on the Western allies on launching their offensive in the early weeks of September. As we know, this offensive never happened or happened on a very limited scale, which influenced the outcome of the Polish campaign. If the Poles were to defend by themselves without counting on the Western allies, the defense would last even longer. But this is a topic for another discussion. So if you're interested in taking a look at how the elements of In Force to Heaven look, then I invite you to take a look at this video, which, as I remind, was released in English. Thank you a lot for watching this very brief roundup. I wish you an excellent weekend. Have a great gaming. See you next time.
On Wars of the World, the RAF's most feared tail gunner of the Second World War. For me, that's cool. On 3-minute board games, the top 10 100 games of all time's fast version. And also ISS Vanguard in about 3 minutes on 3-minute board games. On KilRoyWasHere, my consigliere, 8 videos. Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday, Shadow over Normandy, Achtung Cthulhu by Devil Pig Games. It's always fun. And Coffee with Kilroy, GHQ Miniature Wargaming Source Books, and Undaunted Reinforcements Osprey Replacement Cards. Plus River Plate and Denmark Straight by Decision Games, an unbagging. And on his Coffee with Kilroy, again, Men of War, Rhodesian Bush War Forward Together, module number 1. Also takes a look at David Thompson's War Chess, Alderac, unboxing and brief discussion of abstract war games. Or war games, I should say. War Chess, Nobility Expansion, Alderac, and unboxing. And War Chess Siege Expansion, Alderac, and unboxing. He's going crazy, man. He's going Dave Thompson crazy. Man. You know what I'm saying? All that on KilRoyWasHere. History Hustle, 1 video this week. The Battle for Athens, 1944-1945. The Greek Civil War starts. Eesh. Respect, Jim Ozarski, 4 videos. Xenos Rampant, a stumble through. Plus Quatre Bras for Valor and Fortitude. Also, the Battle of Stoltanovska or Soltanovska, Part 2 for Shackles 2. Sorry, Jim. And the Outskirts of Colville for Chain of Command on Jim Ozarski this week. On the big board, 1 video, Decisive, World at War 85 on the big board this week. Wise Guy History, 2 videos out. Playing It All Wrong, the Ops Cycle in Crossing the Line, Aachen, 1944. And also, First Casualties but a Successful Patrol. A patrol report on skies above Britain. This, I'm excited about that game. And the man who goes by the name of Jeff has 8 videos this week. Spruance Leader, 1, 2, 3 videos plus Railroad Corporation Playthrough Part 1. This looks like a video game. Scenario 1, 2. Scenario 1, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos on Railroad Corporation. And these railroad games, 18xx and all that. If this is an 18xx, I'm intrigued. On the channel, the man who calls himself Jeff. Tony of Tony's Board Life. Skies Above Britain, scenario number 2. Tailed. You know what? There's action in this game. Man. And you know, I just perused the rule books and scenario books and something book comes with quite a few books. You can pair RAF The Battle of Britain 1940, John Butterfield's game. You can do something with this. I think it's pretty cool. Dad versus Son. 8 videos. I was sergeant here, man. I don't know if I made it to corporal, but he killed me, right? And he has 8 videos on Dad's Delinquents, and he's on part 3.05, Mission 88, Defend, on the combat game, Volume 2. Look, this looks like a cool game. I got it. Did I play it? No. I was gifted this game by one of my subscribers. Thank you very much. ID Jester, 8 videos. Opened box, White Star Rising upgrade kit and module and scenario book. So he looks at that. Also, Stalin's Triumph and Desert Heat. These are all upgrades. Plus, open the box on World at War 85 core rules, and he plays Doom 1993. I love that game. It's actually quite difficult. Plus a Brass Lancashire, Lancashire solo with Mautuma AI, first learning game part 1. Man, tell me that guy doesn't look like Daniel Day-Lewis, okay? And live unboxing of Grand Austria Hotel, expert level lookout games, and NHL Stratematic Hockey 2018 playoffs, Los Angeles Kings at Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas has a hockey team. Look, for you guys that are my age, you understand what I'm trying to say here. What's next? Florida? Hey, they do. Mighty Ducks. All right. The PBS voice of war games, the Oaken Night. Learning my heritage, Irish freedom, a review. Eek! The Oaken Night is Irish. I just found out. Slowly, I'm getting to know who this guy is. Great voice, great channel, great music. What can I tell you? Skies Above Britain at JK War Games, an in-depth review. Look, this is too much fun. Okay? You want to get immersed? I haven't tried it yet, but I'm assuming it's a very immerseful game. On Little Wars TV, one video, and it's the Hastings Battlefield Tour. They're in England. I gotta watch that on Little Wars TV. On Beyond Solitaire podcast number 99, Kathleen Mercury on teaching game design, plus how to solo Hoplomachus remastered onslaught mode. God, that's brutal. On Jan Heinemann's Let's Play History, they made it that it's backwards. He's got 8 videos out, and I'll tell you something, they are all in German. And you know, I try to read that, and I make fun, but I love the German language. One video is, look, he's playing Flashpoint Campaign Southern Storm. He's got like 7 videos of that. And he plays Woods of Bergen. All interesting. I know he's into Kriegspiel very much. He asked me to do something, but I just don't have any time. I don't have any time. All this on Let's Play History. The Professor Riccardo Mazzini. Love that guy. He's live in Milano, War Games 2022. Sure, let's go have a War Game convention in Milano. And hey, let's break and go for lunch. In Italy. Let's go for lunch. What do you think? You're gonna go to McDonald's? Or are you gonna go to a crusty chicken or something? Not that there's anything wrong with crusty chicken, but you're in Milano, man. Look, let's have a bottle of wine and a couple of paninis before we go back and play. Oh, how much was that? Oh, $5. What can I say? Ricardo, the professor. The cop that is Wayne Hansen. Look at that handsome face. Huh? I swear to God. On his Let's Play segment, he plays Spruance leader, Target Wolfpack. That's an hour-and-a-half video, man, so it's got to be intense. And he does War Game Publishers Holiday Sales 2022 Part 2! There's a Part 1 to this. And Wayne Hansen, the cop that is, you know. Mauro Faina has 4 videos out, episodes 28-29 of Gianni Zero Nero, where he talks about Stalingrad Pocket. And John Prados. I've heard that John Prados unfortunately just passed away. I heard that from Artie. Look, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a short time. Make the most out of it. Enjoy yourself. Don't be a miserable wretch. If you're a miserable wretch, let me tell you, on your dying days, you're gonna be miserable. But anyways, also Gianni Zero Nero, he does a special Guerra e Guerrieri, special War and Warriors, and he does again Stalingrad Pocket in another Gianni Zero Nero video. These are for our Italian listeners. Cody of the Discriminating Gamer, the Dr. Cody, I should say, looks at Firefly Misbehaving. I loved that series. Plus, legendary Black Widow. He's going crazy. Love Cody. Discriminating Gamer. Games from the front, man. That's been a while, this guy. Call of Cthulhu RPG 7 actual play, The Auction episode. And why do I look like why do I see that there's Goebbels? I don't know, it just looks creepy. Cthulhu. On Games from the Front. And the chief of Bonding with Board Games and RPGs, 2 videos out. He has, I'm gonna say, ENI, or ENI, Shamanic Clinician, number 6, Mentor, part 3. Thanks, Doc. And how to play how to character create Blade Runner, the RPG from Free League Games, solo. God, you know what? When you immerse yourself in these RPGs, you're into it. It's something. I can see it. Marco Omnigamer at Marco Wargamer checks out David Thompson's Lazarus Ridge Review, published by DVG. The Gentlemen of the Player's Aid have 3 videos out, unboxing Donnerschlag from VUCA Simulations, also reviewing Minden Playing Card Cricket, 5th edition. Cricket. Okay, he's English, right? Okay. Also unboxing A Most Fearful Sacrifice from Flying Pig Games. Obviously a Herman Lutman game. I'm a Herman Lutman. Who doesn't love Herman Lutman? For God's sakes, I'm almost jealous of other people loving Herman. My paisan from the South, Ontario, Gilbert Collins, Compass Games Expo 2022, a collage. Also, Revolution Road by John Paniski and published by Compass Games. I met John Paniski. Nice guy. Quiet guy, but nice guy. And intense. GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamer, 3 videos out. Easy miniature painting technique by the GIMPY Painter. That's funny. Plus SAS Rogue Regiment Kickstarter preview and Mark Walker's The Long Road playthrough finale. I watched a little bit of it. Fun. And Mark Walker looks great with that beard. And Charles Latorra, 8 videos of The Mighty Endeavor. And Mail Call, Compass Games, the African campaign. More mail, more goodness. This looks like a Worthington Publishing game. Plus, again, he continues with the Mighty Endeavor. 1, 2, 3 videos of the Mighty Endeavor. Then he goes to next bookcase with games. 3 shelves, Desert Napoleonic, Fred the Great. And yes, garage is a mess. Need to clean up my auxiliary man corner for model building. Check out Charles Latora. I was given his name from a subscriber, and I am subscribed, and welcome Charles Latora.
Howdy folks, it's Meandering Mike in the Man Cave of Madness. It's way after midnight here, and I am coming to you on Dan Pincaldi's No Enemy Here to give you my weekly update for my channel, Meandering Mike. So what did I do this past week? We got 6 videos here. One of them is last week's No Enemies Here content. I'm putting them up each week, so you guys can see that. The week after, a standalone little video. So for those of you who want an overview of what's going on. I also include a link in there to back to the No Enemies Here episode from that week, so you can get back to it easily. So the big thing that I did last week was finishing the Thanksgiving giveaway, and so we gave away Imperial Struggle from GMT and Kabuki Kid as his choice, her choice, selected from Victory Point Games, Danube 20. So with those removed from the prize pool, and I removed a couple more, and we did a new giveaway. So this is in anticipation of reaching 200 subscribers. I was at 179 last week. We're up to 189 this week. We need 12 more. I got to exceed 200. That's when this giveaway comes into play. The day after we exceed 200, I will do the giveaway. So as you can see, here's some new prizes that have entered the pool, a couple of old ones still hanging out there. So any help you guys can give me, subscribe to the channel, invite other people in, get it up to 200, we'll give those games away. And even if you're not interested in these games, you know, if you have gaming friends or gaming group or whatever, or family members, you know, spread the word, spread the love. Let's get the games out there. So that is there, and you know the drill. You know, find the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, and those that comment will be put into the drawing. I did another food storage related video. This one was, the title suggested by my wife, Don't Be a Sloth, Stock Up on Broth. So this is all about, you know, what you can do with different kinds of broth, what kind of ways that you want to incorporate it in your meals and your meal planning, and whether to stock, pun intended, to stock things in depth or in breadth. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, check it out. Food storage public service announcement. So how to clean your crack. I did another handyman video. If you have crack problems, one of the things you want to keep your cracks clean, right? So there was a bunch of grease here near this one, and when you want to seal a crack, you want to make sure there's not a lot of dirt and gunk and stuff, so you need to vacuum it out real good and clean off the grease. So I used a degreaser, cleaned it off, and as of, you know, right now it's out there curing all good. I put a couple of passes of the crack filler in there. There's a couple of spots, as you can see, that were deeper and thicker, and that tends to dry like a dimple when you have to do a second pass. But also in this video, I also showcase some of the stuff on the racks that I just installed there. So the previous handyman video, those were empty, and now they're 90% full, those 3 racks. So you can take a look at the kind of games that I'm stuffing on there. Of course, it's not the final sorting. Things are going to keep moving around, but I'm making progress in that garage of that man cave. Got to keep going. All right, so this was the last week's No Enemies Here title. Watch it if you like to, don't. If it's not, finish it. You're hearing it now, but maybe you want to go back and review this later to see, you know, what I did during a given week. So here I did 2 unboxing just recently. So last a couple weeks ago, and then last week I did Joust, which was a game from IDW based on a arcade game, and did that review. And just last week I did Atari Classic Centipede that IDW turned into an arcade game, and I finally got my copy of Missile Command in, and take a look at that. It's another interesting port of an arcade game. This one actually can support from 3 to 6 players, which is, radically different than Missile Command on the game where you're playing, one player against the attackers yourself. I think there was some like 2-player version of Missile Command at one point, but I never played it. But so you can check that out and see if this is of interest to you, or if you just the nostalgia of old arcade games and seeing what different publishers are doing with their interesting games. And this last unboxing here is Grease Lightning. Yeah, that's a pun on Greased Lightning. It is set in ancient Greece. You're a captain racing your triremes, trying to avoid the giant Hydra in the whirlpool. It's a push your luck race game with elements of take that. So it's not like your old school Candyland, roll and move. It's got a lot of interesting decision points to it. You got to decide to push your luck, when to try to get bonus movement, and which paths you're going to navigate to try to get various resources, avoid certain hazards, get favor of the god cards that can help you out or slow down your opponents. This was co-designed by Kathleen Mercury. Kathleen Mercury is a teacher who teaches gifted students, and she teaches 7th graders game design. Yeah, 7th graders, she teaches game design. So if you're interested in hearing about that, I include a link, and I mentioned that Kathleen Mercury was on Liz Davidson's Beyond Solitaire podcast, so you can go and find that and find out more about her adventures teaching 7th graders how to design games. So that is it for the week. This is Meandering Mike in the Man Cave of Madness, and I'm sending you back to Dan and all the folks watching No Enemies here. Take care and ciao.
Another week, another show. I worked this weekend, and I just finished recording. I'm going to be placing everything together. I'm here for a couple of more hours, having my harp, still having my harp, thank God. And I used to work in psychiatry, and I was a counselor in psychiatry, and I did music there, and it was very intense, and I loved the job. I did it for 20 years. Unfortunately, administration really sucked, the big one. And the woman director that was there with her woman secretary administration thing, they were in cahoots, and they just ran a mean shit, man. They killed everything over there. Nothing good can come of that. I had a great supervisor with a great team, and we did great work, and we were impassioned by the work we did. The supervisor, his name is Teo Vidam from Romania, actually from the Carpathian Mountains. Dracula came from there. What's the name of the bloody city? Oh my God, I forget. Anyway, the guy was great. I love him. We're all gone. Everybody's gone from there, and they're miserable now. And you know what? That's what can I say? And now I'm semi-retired, and I love what I'm doing. I'm at a palliative care hospital. I was again touched by a 107-year-old woman. She grabbed my hand and she wanted to show me some pictures in a book, and I'm like, who of you have been touched by a human being of 107 years old? I'm blessed. I couldn't believe it. I had a smile from here to here, and the woman you know, she has cataracts a bit, but what a smile. 107! It's incredible. Unfortunately, at that age, she has a little bit of dementia, not a lot, so I can't understand what she's saying. But the stories she can tell, 107 years. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Basically, I'm a glorified dishwasher, and I love it. I love it. Because why? Because I know what I'm doing. I'm washing dishes. And that's it. I don't have to be responsible for this, that. It's a great semi-retirement. The pay is the same as when I was a counselor, believe it or not. And I just got a ticket today for $28 for parking in the parking place where I work, and you're supposed to pay $1 a day. I didn't want to pay $1 a day, so I got $28 to pay. Look, you got to take risks in life. You know, it keeps it exciting. So anyways, I got to pay $28. And that's Canadian, so that's like $1 American. And, yeah. And I work with great people. I work with 99% women. Get a different outlook. They're hard workers. I'm telling you. They're meticulous. And I gotta keep up. And if I don't keep up, I get razzed. And it's not fun. So, with that said, thank you for watching. And thank you for subscribing. And thank you for supporting this show. I really appreciate it. We have a new subscriber. It's Combat Board Games, Brent Campbell. Thanks, Brent. I didn't put up your name yet. I will. And a few subscribers or few supporters have left us, which I appreciate their support over the years. It's just great. I know times are tough, and even $5 a month. Look, we're living in tough times, and I'm eternally grateful for the support that I'm getting here. Really, what can I tell you? I like what I'm doing. I guess you like what I'm doing, and some people feel it's worth $5 a month, and I appreciate it. So, thanks again. Have a great weekend. I work this weekend, but it's fine, man. Because I don't work next weekend. That's what it is, working in a hospital system. And be nice. Just have a good time. Life throws you a couple of curveballs. You deal with it, but life is good. Okay? Have a good time. Have a great weekend. Ciao.